everybody. This is Jaime Martinez, Circuit Administrator, and I'm here with Jessica Torres, the new President of TCGC. And one thing that was mentioned at the fall meeting was that the board is going to give monthly updates to the membership, and it probably will be more than monthly. But I just wanted to get started talking with Jessica about some things that happened at the e-board meeting recently. But I'm going to give Jessica a chance to introduce herself and talk about herself a little bit.
Hello, my name is Jessica Torres, and as of August 9th, I have the privilege of serving as your president for TCGC. For those who don't know who I am, I currently am the director of Klein High School Color Guard. I'm on staff with Undaunted Independent, and I'm a mom of an amazing 6-year-old. I did color guard all 4 years of high school, marched independent for 3, as well as began studying music. And now this will begin my 12th year of teaching. So color guard has definitely been a part of the majority of my life.
Awesome. We're super excited to have Jessica on board. She's jumped right in, and that's what we're going to talk about. We've had a great meeting this past weekend. So one of the things that has come out from the board was the membership survey. So I thought maybe it would be a good thing for you to talk about just some of the things that you saw within that survey.
Yes, well, it was really important for myself to right away dive in and get a sense of what's going on with our membership, recognizing that from color guard to percussion to winds, there are going to already naturally be different needs. And since the pandemic, we've all been in a waiting game. So the point of this survey was to kind of get an update, who's in school, what are the restrictions, and we definitely saw a variety of needs when it comes to who's doing UIL versus football games. And then a big interest of ours was what were going to be the travel restrictions and if groups were allowed to rehearse and participate fully right now. The biggest thing we took away from the survey was feedback from each unit director and what they're really needing going forward. And it is different across the board. There are some that are asking for in-person competition, and then there are those who have already let us know that they will have to be virtual and restricted. So it gave the board a really good sense of we need to offer choice and definitely want those voices to be heard as much as possible.
Yeah, I was really surprised, or pleasantly surprised, that we had over 100 or close to 100 survey responses. I'm not sure what it is now, but that was, like I told the board, a good amount, especially as it's compared to our fall meeting, our virtual meetings that we've had, and it's the same number pretty much. So that was a good thing for me to see, that it was probably a good cross section of the whole circuit. But you're right. The crazy thing is that like we know, it's all over the place. Everyone has different needs, and it's up to the board now to kind of figure out and navigate where we go in the 2021 season. But we're going to get to that. So the other thing that happened recently was we met with Flow Marching in our first meeting with them for the new season, and they kind of talked to us a little bit about some things that they have in store and what they can offer. Do you want to expand on that?
I do. And I kind of want to back up a little bit because I don't think that maybe most of our membership knew that we were partnering with Flow Marching for the past 2020 season. And unfortunately, we all know the disappointment we felt not getting to finish the season, but they were partnering with us to cover the area competitions for both guard and percussion. And then they were going to be at state championships. So right now they are a partner of ours through 2022. So we're met with them to get an update on what they can provide. And I think we both can say we were pleased with what they're moving forward with. And not only are they partnering with color guard circuits, but as well looking to move into DCI in the future. So they've already developed a platform to handle upload, and there's talks of streaming with the potential to have streaming between multiple shows in a weekend. So if we were to safely offer in person and had something in the south, something on the east side and west side, would be able to stream and cover those locations all at once to
Yeah,
cover everyone who's performing.
it was super exciting to hear that they already have these platforms, because when we talked about anything virtual, that's always the first question. How are we going to do this, and do we have the capabilities? Now, we haven't decided for sure that we're using Flow Marching within the virtual setting, but we at least know that there's an option and there's more to discuss about it. But it was a good meeting, and we're looking forward to meeting with them some more. One of the most exciting things I think that the board in the board report was from the education department and Joey Powell. I thought everything that Joey's been doing in the past has been great, and he has really stepped it up going into the next season. So I know you've talked extensively with him about some things, and they're actually meeting this week with his advisory members. And so maybe you can give us some more information about that, because it's really exciting things.
Yes, I think that I speak for many, if not everyone, that we're ecstatic that Joey is returning. And there are so many things that he has begun and want to continue to do, as well as things that we didn't get to finish last year that are going to be implemented this year. One of the things we're doing to help facilitate all of the educational needs is there is an advisory committee. There are volunteers who will be assisting Joey with plans and also reaching out to the membership. I think one of the things I'm really excited about is we will have our bi-weekly to monthly newsletter coming out. So we'll be having frequent updates with what the education team is working on, as well as our annual EDU by TCGC. We're looking December to continue to hold that event. Even if it is virtual, we want to get the judges, the directors, everyone together. And then going forward, there will be multiple education events through the season as we cater to instructors and virtual needs. And then I think the last thing that we're excited that's still in the works are membership safety is definitely a priority, and diversity and inclusive training. So there'll be multiple steps as we look at the potential of partnering with Color Guard EDU to just make sure that we're all on the same page about safety first, members from scholastic to independent, and making it very clear the TCGC standard.
Yeah, I think one of the exciting things is adding to the education focus the things outside of the gym or outside the field, those diversity things that we talked about. And so I think Joey's is a perfect person to do this, right? He has the experience to put all these things together, and he already has some exciting plans. I'm excited to hear what him and his advisory committee kind of come up with going forward and how they're going to implement that. So I know the board left the meeting with some things that they're going to work on this month, and some target dates for some more meetings. So what is in store for the board in September?
There is a lot already. I jumped in and said, we got to go. There's a season to plan. And coming up, one of the things I'm excited that we're doing is we'll be meeting with percussion and winds membership with the board and those units. There's already been feedback about how different their needs are and concerns about if we have to go the virtual route, how we can cater to them with visual affecting their audio needs. So first up on September 20th, I believe we're shooting for 6 p.m. We want to hear from them, kind of like how we did our town halls through the summer, but just to let them know that the board is here and we're going to do our best to figure it out for everyone, that it's as equitable as it can be. So we'll be meeting with them to get a little bit more insight to what they're wanting. And then from there, I kind of broke up different ideas for our next few meetings to make them more of like focus groups. So with the board, we have a huge thing to tackle as far as and what the needs are for the season. So we're going to kind of break down each meeting to look at, okay, this meeting is just for all the needs for in person and all like what that's going to entail. And then from there, we'll talk virtual. We're hoping to offer solo and ensemble this year. And with each thing, there's just so many factors, and definitely taking in the input from our membership. So we hope that by November 1st, we can have really good plan that offers, once again, options and catering to our membership and their needs.
So let's talk a little bit more about that, because I know everyone is nervous, anxious about what the 2021 season is going to be. And I know you want to, and I want to assure everybody that we're thinking about it, we're working on it, and yes, we don't have all the answers, but we want feedback. But there are some important things that the board has to consider as they look into the new season, right? So maybe you can talk about a little bit what the board's talking about as far as options, and what is the board having to juggle right now as far as planning?
Well, the short answer is everything. But for those who want to know more, we started a couple of weeks ago with our WGI partner circuit meeting. Normally, we look to what they're doing, but we have a little bit more flexibility with the fact that we are a local circuit. And so things that we're having to consider, of course, are our show host and what they can do and their capabilities, because we partner with them first to host the competitions. So we'll have to check in with them, and the fact that everyone has had different start dates for school, we're having to take into consideration who will be allowed to come in, what will those restrictions be, as well as following local CDC guidelines and things like of those nature. On top of that, we do always have to consider the budget. We wish that money didn't have to interfere with what we're doing, but as far as in making sure we continue to provide quality judging and feedback, and there's just a lot of factors making sure that as we recognize that we're one of the largest circuits in the nation, that we cater to vast geographic ranges, and just how we can make sure that we're being fair to all of those regions.
Yeah, and everybody has different circumstances that are happening within those areas, and yeah, for sure. So we think we know that the board wants to do a solo and ensemble, some kind of event for solo and ensemble, which will be new for the circuit. But this is the time to try it, and we are looking at an in-person, maybe. That's something that we're going to start, that the board's going to look at. What are the options there? And then the other one is of something in virtual, right? And I think everyone kind of got that information from the survey too, because those are the questions we asked as far as what everyone's comfortability with that. Saying that though, it doesn't necessarily mean we know we're for sure going to go those routes yet, right? Those are just the big broad options I think that the board is looking at developing more, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we just want to make it clear that we don't think that one model fits all, nor do we expect everyone to fit in one avenue or one route. There may be some people who need just educational things, want virtual competition. We know a majority that they want the traditional, and so if we can make it happen safely, we're gonna make it happen. And especially we're taking into consideration UIL being pushed back for those that are participating in that all the way to December, plus football running over. So if we can have that in person and we can find the facilities and make it happen, we want to be able to offer that. And we've discussed starting probably the end of February to give units kind of the same time prepare. If we were on a normal schedule, they would have November and December. And then after that, we don't think anything's off the table, but we definitely have quality first is what we want. We don't want to do something just to do it. But once again, it's about option. Not everyone's going to be in the same boat. And then we're also looking at how can we help for the people that want to be non-competitive? Is it standstill options? Is it UIL ratings? So once again, we just want to be more creative. We don't want to limit ourselves, but we also want to be effective.
Right, absolutely. I thought that was one of the exciting things that we've been talking about over the years is some kind of um, maybe non-scored shows, and so this is the time that we can play around with some of those things, because I know there are people that everyone's in different situations like we already talked about, and we want to be able to give everyone that season no matter what it looks like, whether it's virtual and hopefully some in-person things. But again, like you said, budgets is a big thing, and we only know what we can do once we figure out how much money we have to do it. And then just to reiterate, you said November 1st we're hoping for a announcement of some sort.
Yes, I'm a deadline person. And so as the board's reaching out to task force and multiple committees that we work with, we also want to respect that the members have to plan. And although we don't want to make a decision too early, we're not trying to give up anything like that. I just kind of told myself, well, we need to have these plans worked out by then, so then the membership can turn around and make their preparations.
Right, and I think November seems a good time to have enough time, especially if the season is pushed back into February, for us to work with show hosts and find judges and whatever platforms we need to do. And then also uh, develop more specifically the safety protocols that we need for in person, the competitive or sheets or whatever the things are. All the little details will come later. But right now, we're looking at the broad ideas for the season, and hopefully by November we'll have a really strong idea once schools have opened and we kind of see how things are working there. Anything else you wanted to mention about the new season?
I think we've covered most of it. I just really want the membership to know that we're working hard, and every day I'm looking at the survey. We are up to 102 responses before I got on this call, and if for some reason you didn't get to fill out the survey, or you have an idea you feel that needs to be brought to the table, as always, you can always email any of our board members. But please know that I'm in the email. It's working, president@texascolorguardcircuit.org. And I've already asked independent units, just anything I can think of. I've been reaching out and saying, hey, shoot me that email, get us the information. Nothing's off the table.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been, I know it's only been a couple of weeks, but it's been great to see everything that's happening and the plans that are already going into place. And the board is, everyone has their marching orders basically, and everyone's working hard because we do want to have some sort of season this year, no matter what it is. And we're going to do our best to make sure that's safe and enjoyable. Um, Anything else you want to bring up before we end?
I just want to once again thank the membership for those that were at our meeting and elected me. And I'm really excited that even though we're up against a huge challenge, like I said, in the election, I'm here to work and I'm ready to go. And I think this is really just going to show us what we can do. There's so much to our activity, in and out of the gym, competitive and not competitive. And this is just a time for us to continue to expand our thinking and be flexible, which is hard for us to do sometimes. But in every meeting or training for back to school, I just keep reminding myself and those around me that we're the people that solve those show date crises. So when props go missing, things start to break, we don't know, there's a pause in the schedule, we're the people that solve those issues and impact our students' lives daily. So as we go forward, I just want everyone to know we're in this together. And like I said, anything you need, please reach out to us.
Awesome. Jessica, thanks for spending some time with me, and I'm sure we'll talk some more. Again, all the emails are on the website under the contact form, so you can definitely email anybody on that page if you have a question. And if you don't know who to contact, you can email me at office@texascolorguardcircuit.org, and I'll make sure to get it to the right person. Jessica, have a great night, and we'll talk some more later.